Hi everyone, my name is Sam Mendez, and today I will be presenting the topic of Jackie Gaughan and the El Cortez. We will be exploring the last standing original casino in downtown Las Vegas. A little bit of background on Las Vegas. Even before that, the Comstock Lode of 1859 brought tourism to Virginia City and racked over $400,000 in silver, really establishing itself as the silver state and bringing in that mining culture. Now, with that much money, what better way to use it than in the than in gambling in these casinos? There was even a gambling venue that was run near a local prison, which really goes to show that it is really making itself known as a mining town. And after that, you may be wondering, how did Vegas start? Well, it started because local senators from Salt Lake City and Los Angeles needed a connection. They needed a railroad path. And also with the Mormon missions as well, with a temple being established in what is now Las Vegas, that really brought tourism to the area and just really helped establish Las Vegas as a whole. Now, the Golden Gate Casino opened in 1906, becoming the first casino in Las Vegas. Now, this really jump-started the casino scene in Las Vegas because, sure, it started in Virginia City, but you needed a mode to really get that transported to Las Vegas and really influence the area. Now, Bugsy Siegel and the opening of the Flamingo really marked the start of the period of mob control on the Strip. It really meant that these Las Vegas mobs could compete with the mobs in Italy and New York City and really dominate this scene, especially with the way that they threatened some of these guests and the way that they really used these gambling tactics to leverage the guest and really get as much money as they possibly could. And March 19th, 1931, gambling in Vegas became fully legal via the passing of Assembly Bill 98. Now, there was already a lot of gambling even when it was illegal. Think of prohibition, for example, as well. When you make something illegal, that's not going to stop anybody. It's just going to really make it grow even more. And when this Assembly Bill 98 was passed, really opening that up, it really paved the way for the industry to grow even more, for that gambling culture to really be on the rise. Now, the El Cortez opened in 1941, originally owned by J. Kell Housels, but it was later purchased in 1963 by our guy, Jackie Gaughan. And Jackie Gaughan would really go on to establish himself as a casino mogul and one of the most well-known businessmen in Las Vegas. Now, who was Jackie Gaughan? He was born John Davis Gaughan in Omaha, Nebraska, in October 24th of 1920. And he was born to parents who were both really avid gamers, and you'll see that influence start to come in a little later on. Now, he attended Creighton University and then served in World War II in the U.S. Army Air Corps. Now, it's important to note that when he first went to Creighton, his first stint at the university, he was studying something completely different from hospitality. It wasn't even related. But after he became honorably discharged in 1946, he returned to Creighton with a bachelor's in commerce, which really would help him become the businessman that he is known as today. And like I said, with both his parents being avid gamers and just the gaming crackdown in Omaha, he decided to move out to Las Vegas. There was just too much of a crackdown in Omaha, and Omaha not being known as a very big gaming destination in general, you could see why he would want to move to Las Vegas, just to really skyrocket his career and really help out an area that really had a lot of promise. Now, his first purchase in Las Vegas was the Boulder Club, And he would go on to later purchase 11 more properties with the El Cortez in 1963. He really built an empire, and he owned it at one point. He really helped with the growing of Las Vegas in general, not just in downtown, but on the Strip as well, because he would later go on to own the Flamingo, really taking the reins from Bugsy Siegel and just being able to continue to build that tourist profile in Las Vegas. Now, what are some of Jackie Gaughan's contributions? Well, something that he's very well known for is his presidential suite at the El Cortez, which he lived in for the rest of his life. And he was living pretty lavishly there too. It has a bar, a nice lounge space, a balcony, and it can still be purchased by guests to this day. I personally would want to live in, or at least stay in, a place where one of the biggest businessmen in Las Vegas has stayed. He offered affordable room fares and affordable food comps, such as a 29-cent breakfast, which nowadays in Las Vegas, with the rising prices, especially on the Strip and downtown, you are not going to find that. So it was really, he really was an innovator for being able to make everything affordable, and he put his guests and his employees first. He was a hands-on manager. He wasn't just sitting around and watching everybody else do his work. He really had a place in the El Cortez, and I think that's one of the reasons why he became so well known. He really cared about the guests, and that showed with how many guests would stay there and how popular it became in downtown. As I said, he owned over 11 properties in Las Vegas, notably the Flamingo and the Golden Nugget. He really built an empire, and not everybody can do that too, especially with the rise and then the fall of the mob. He really stood the test of time. The El Cortez in general, it was purchased from J. Kell Housels, and Gaughan held that all the way until 2008. Something that it was really known for was its Spanish ranch-style architecture, which is something that's really hard to find nowadays. I mean, on the Strip, with the investors coming in and raising the prices and really placing the onus on luxury-style casino resorts, the El Cortez is really one of a kind. And in 2008, Jackie Gaughan sold it to his close friend, Kenny Epstein. Just as he grew older, it was harder for him to really have the same kind of service that he really envisioned, and it just wasn't the same standard that he wanted it at the start. And when Kenny Epstein, his friend, purchased it from him, he was really able to continue the vision that Jackie Gaughan had for this place. And then it really goes to show that it was so special because it was added to the National Registrar of Historic Places in 2013. So it really did stand the test of time, and it still is a popular destination today. There's a reason why it's the last standing original Las Vegas casino. The legacy and the impact. The El Cortez, it serves as a memento to downtown Las Vegas, standing the test of time with its neon facade. It really exemplifies and shows vintage Vegas. And they're actually going to be having a sign that they're lighting up at the Neon Museum in downtown Las Vegas, which would be really cool to check out. And it just really does show that it is vintage. The property is still open to this day, seeing thousands of guests each year, meaning that it still lives on. It's still popular. Gaughan's vision was really lived out. And he was a pioneer of business. He was a mogul. He is one of the Las Vegas Business Hall of Fame inductees. And his son, Jackie Jr., still carries on his legacy. The El Cortez really deserves to be the last standing casino in downtown Las Vegas, and I think it will continue to seek success for years to come. Now, here are my references, and I wanted to ask a couple of questions. just for you to really think about after seeing this presentation. With the first being, with the rising prices on the Strip and the and the decrease in tourism, how do you think downtown will be able to compete with that? And how, as a businessman, could the El Cortez be improved? And how could it be adapted to the tastes of tourists nowadays? And my second question is, what was your favorite part of this presentation? And what do you think personally is the biggest reason for why Jackie Gaughan became as notable as he is today? My third question, how do you think his son is going to continue to carry on his legacy? And and finally, do you think we'll see any of these Strip casinos really stand the test of time as we continue to see some of these casinos be demolished? And I really appreciate you for being able to take the time to watch my presentation, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you very much.